Welcome, everyone, Astrology and Alchemy with Paranormal Sarah and Matthew Slozier, where usually he is across the country in another time zone, but not tonight. Tonight, he is somewhere in the Minnesota realm, which is exciting.
We're tag teaming from the same state,
I know. So if
but
you
it's a big
guys,
state.
it is a big state. It's a big state, and it's also, work-related things and being there for business. And getting things done and flying in and out. And Minneapolis, man. Anybody in the chat room, you're going to have to let us know what your favorite city is if you've ever visited Minneapolis and where you like to travel to. But I miss it. I was telling him just before we went live, I miss the city for the food. There's some great coffee spots and sandwich spots and taco spots. But, you know,
See, I'm in the other side. I'm in St. Paul. I haven't been in Minneapolis too often, but
I could
I'm
give you
usually in
St. Paul
St.
things
Paul
too.
or the suburbs.
St. Paul used to have a really cool oddity store, but he closed it in COVID. It was called the Pain Gallery, and he had all kinds of cool oddities,
Cool.
and I would go and get goofer dust. But he closed up in COVID, and now he just does the curiosity exhibit, the Curiosities and Oddities Fair. So, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a crazy week. So, the 24th came and went, the day of darkness. Of I know what I wrote down. And I know what I journaled like, oh, that's what I believe I put down for that. For those of you joining us for the first time, get out your pen and paper. But for those of you who join us often, you kind of know what we're talking about here. Last week when we did the astrology breakdown, Sunday, this just behind us, the 24th. Nothing happened in the astrology. We kind of talked about what that might be. What did you feel for our astrology predictions of the week, Matt?
Well, I know so I'm curious about some folks in the chat here because I think if I remember right, I predicted that it was going to be more micro than macro, so smaller interpersonal things, and I said that bad behavior that would be done Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you'd have to pay the debt on Monday and Tuesday of this week. So I'm kind of curious if people know of or anything that happened. Since I was traveling, it's a little out of the loop on stuff. So I didn't see a whole lot, although Leo season kicked in with a volcano erupting in Japan. So I thought that was interesting. Not something we predicted, but something I thought was kind of interesting. So
We talked about Mother Nature, talked about some kind of crazy shootings being likely happening on Friday, which kind of did unfortunately go down, but that was very predictable, which is like how much of that astrology, how much of it is Leo season, how much of it is Friday in the summer and the heat. Sunday, and I don't even know how much is allowed to even be talked about it, but some like monetary things happening were like money, global monetary things happening, and like major kind of crazy shifts in that space
yeah,
that you didn't hear anything about
yeah.
that I thought was pretty.
Funny, I don't want to be vain or anything here, but people are commenting that I'm looking better. So thank you and asking about my health. I am feeling better. I guess my color looked bad because that's the thing I get from people both live and when I've done these shows is they're like, your color's back. You look better. So
You were also 24 hours after having had a surgery last week.
yeah, it's true.
Like had been open from the inside, like, so you didn't look 100%, because you weren't at 100%, but
Yeah,
you look much better this week. So I'm
awesome.
glad that people noticed that too, because I know I had said it before as well. So they're just that kind of validating. Steph said, I thought Sarah did say something. We did. I did, and we did talk about Earth stuff happening, and we talked about like even a volcano. And I was like, do
When,
you think it's going to be, what did I mean, I didn't say Yellowstone, but I was like,
oh yeah, we were talking about
remember
Yellowstone. I
we
forgot about that.
were. And so again, this is like, I don't have the time to go back and cut it out. Maybe we will if we get opportunities this week. But if you joined us last week, this is what's fun about that, being able to write it down, kind of, discuss amongst each other what we feel is going to happen. And then it will be micro, but it'll also be macro too. It'll be big and it'll be little. So thank you guys for joining us, Steph, Ruth, all the guys joining us, and gals, and Autumn, and Autumn Moon Astrology. Oh, that's also
That's me.
ours. Yeah. I was like, hello, Autumn. Moon. Oh, that's a good name. Oh, wait, that's Autumn Moon Astrology. And Jason, and all of you guys out there in the realm, wherever you're joining us, be sure and stop into the chat room and say hi and follow along. Okay, should we just go ahead and get into it?
Let's dive
It's
in.
already been 5 minutes, and I have looked ahead, but I haven't. Let me look ahead and see how busy is it going to be, huh? 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 Hmm. 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 Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something different here.
Okay. All right. Yeah, there's going to be some movements this week of all kinds. Today, we kind of reminded you guys that Mercury is in Leo. So there's probably some not violent, but volatile, saucy language communicated. It might have even been a hateful email or a saucy text or a threatening shoulder with Mars and Taurus, also that troll energy. That's why I love that you said debt. Like, what debts were you paying on Monday? And it was like, oh, that's so crazy because the different. Anyway, how it all panned out was pretty cool. But today is a pretty fiery acid sour patch. We had kind of mentioned that I'm gonna be a supermodel, and I'd totally play the songs if I had the rights to it on the way out because that just is a killer song. That is today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, July 27th. Only one thing is happening as far as astrological movements go, and it's I'm going to try and be positive, okay? I'm going to try and be positive. But it is the moon in Cancer, and that is waning, so it's getting to be a new moon, and trine that Neptune and Pisces.
Sarah's favorite.
Not a good social services day.
Yeah. So yeah, so moon, Cancer, home sign. So just like the moon waxes, wanes, changes, Cancer is known for being very moody, very security oriented, and trine is synergy. And so it's trine with Neptune, which is all like dreams and delusions, and Pisces, which it's home sign, which introspection and kind of idealism and self-sacrifice. And so this just looks like, this doesn't look like good stuff. This looks like whatever's going to make you emotionally feel better is kind of based on like false information or false expectations. So this is just seeking emotional comfort in the wrong places.
Oh, okay. So first of all, yes. I love hearing you say this because in my monthly meditation where I have already, and my validation is that if you're kind of in that gypsy tribe space, I send this out in an email and share it in a Google Doc. So for the people that in my closed group can access it, they can access my notes a month ahead. And then as I update it through the show, they also get those updates. And I share those on social media. I had shared for tomorrow that this is kind of scrying with ghosts or understanding riptides or pirate magic of the left hand man, and also sirens and kind of the element of the siren.
I was struggling a little bit here because I'm experimenting in that I'm picking cards for predictions, but I'm using an app because I don't have my cards with me. And so I just had to share this with you because I didn't know what the aspect was going to be. And I think this so fits it. 2 of Cups reversed.
Ooh, okay, yes. Yeah. What do you, I'm thinking relationship, cooperation between two people, that emotional, like,
Miscommunication. It's like one person's thinking marriage while the other person's thinking you're my best friend, that kind of thing.
yeah, like crazy things. This is, yeah, Neptune and Pisces is why I say crazy. And that builds on that stereotype of feminine energy being like crazy, crazy, crazy for feeling. That's what tomorrow is going to be. And then that means that like that masculine energy is hanging halfway off the boat going, I miss my wife. Oh, wait a minute. Is that her singing out there? Is that the shoreline? And like, and like, come on, the story, right?
Yep.
I'm listening to it and hearing you describe it. I think, okay, Vance Joy's Riptide, maybe even. This is going to be a really powerful day tomorrow, and it's going to be quite emotional. So keep that in mind. Now,
I
Thursday.
would avoid. I would just generally, but this is the way I'm wired. I would kind of avoid communications tomorrow
Yeah.
with anyone that you have any potential for things to be misread. I would just not go there tomorrow.
Shut the app down. Turn it off. Don't misread the text and respond to it. If you did get that saucy email today or communication today or whiplash today and you're like, "Ooh, don't respond tomorrow."
Yeah.
Tomorrow wouldn't be the day. It just wouldn't. And so I'm excited to see who takes that advice, but also in the macro space, how that plays out for us as a country, a world, all of it. Okay. Thursday, 4 things happen. Boom, 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 boom. And they're pretty powerful, each and every one of them. The very first thing, that's it. Run to the dollar store, get a candle, get a prayer candle, get out your Sharpies, write down all your intentions, do all the things because it is a new moon. That's right. Witches everywhere be dancing naked. It is a new moon in Leo. Probably not taking it off. Well, maybe eventually taking it off, but probably putting it on first. Leo is all about the show. So, what do you see for the new moon in Leo on
So
Thursday, Matt?
this cycle is all about you. So this is a little bit of a selfish cycle of but wanting attention from others, wanting the spotlight on you. So I would say this is a time to give thought to what do you want to be known for? What do you want others to notice you for? And that's where you want to channel your energy.
Man, I was and I'll be loved by you, just you. Like,
See, now I can't hear that. I think that was on House of a Thousand Corpses. So now, like, that's what I. Now
I'm
when I hear
sorry.
that, that's
I
what I
know, I'm
think.
sorry. Rob Zombie, dang it. The cycle of you. You. Very, very flapper kind of feeling that I'm getting from this. It's that gold. It's the shimmer, it's the shine, it's the stage. It's like the Chicago vibe. The shadow work I have is cat deity, fire magic, like Sekhmet, Oshun. Very powerful fire. What do you think as far as ritual space or predictions for the new moon in Leo? Because Thursday's kind of a calm day, but still.
Look for attention grabbing activity from some of the folks that are good at wanting to grab attention. So, I'll initially the former president, but there'll be somebody that'll do something to want to draw attention to themselves.
And I think when you can see this panning out, you go, oh, okay. So the day before we had this where it was really emotional. You don't love me. Like one of these War of the Roses kind of moments. And so then the very next day, Thursday, this new moon, you know what? I've had enough. I can't do this. I am going to do this. This is going to be.
This applies to everybody, but the big egos are going to want to.
Yeah.
The big egos are going to want to manifest or show themselves, and so they're the people you're going to see the most. They're the ones that are going to make the most noise.
And boy, are they, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 things. This third, that's just the first. Let's do the second one because I was like, dang, I don't know if this is the biggest thing happening, but this is a big thing, I think. Jupiter is retrograde, goes retrograde, started that retrograde in Aries.
The troll in me. The troll. There's another one of these signs that the troll in me will get a kick out of because Jupiter's opportunity. So it's that car, coming up at the door swinging. Hop in, we're going to. But since it's in retrograde, I interpret this as these are opportunities destined for just bad. This is winning a free trip on the Titanic as your opportunity. This is just these opportunities won't pan out. This is wrench. This is the week vacation in Hawaii where it pours the whole time and you get in a typhoon or something. This is just plans go awry. And then the fact that it's in Aries, which is already very impulsive, not necessarily thinking things through, just move. These are impulsive, maybe not well thought out plans that go haywire. So this is just, and this will be on for a while. Oh wow, thunderstorms in the background there. Yeah, this is just plans that'll just go off the rails. So this is going to be interesting energy for as long as Jupiter's in Aries. So this will continue for a while, but this will start bad plans or plans kind of going off the rails.
You said off the rails 2 or 3 times in that, which of course in that neurolinguistic programming, I'm underlining those words that you repeat. And you mentioned the Titanic, like a failed venture of a mode of transportation. So, and for those journaling your intuition, when you find yourself dissociatively scribbling these notes and like, okay, yep, and just following the line in your brain, and you might be thinking like, what, the Titanic? That's great. Like, where you just write it down. Then, as you take a step back, you're like, dang, these are like significant. Oh, this will never sink. Like, what is this? Off the rails? Is it a train? Your gut, your intuition, your vagus nerve is going to kind of tingle and in a way that's like, nah, nope, that's dumb. Like you're going to hear your inner mind's eye, spirit guides, my grandma, like whoever it is that you've named it, that it is, that you feel that it is, or that it speaks to you, that you're going to be like, oh, the Titanic. Yeah. Oh, is it a boat? It's like playing I Spy almost with your own intuition in this space. When you feel Jupiter retrograde in Aries, I wrote down Luck Be a Lady and like the Mrs. Doubtfire scene. And this, and also I wrote down the scene, and I was very visual. This was very visual for me when I meditated on it. The Chevy Chase scene in National Lampoon's Vacation when he pulls up in the Ferrari and the girl, and she's like winking at him in the Ferrari, but his wife's in the passenger seat and his kids are asleep in that car. And like, what is he trying to do? Like in your mind, you're like, what is he doing? That's so stupid. But he's like, this is the moment. And I'm going to totally just, and then she drives off, and the wife wakes up. What are you doing? You're going 80. Like this is that Jupiter retrograde. Like doing one of these with the car while you're trying to get in.
Yeah.
And someone's going to break their foot. Someone's going to really get hurt. So someone's feelings are going to get hurt. And it be careful.
So they're just doing the combo. Somebody's going to want to get attention. So they're going to propose some big idea of something to do impulsively. They might do it right on the fly. Again, there's just certain people that come to mind immediately on this that, just, hey, I got an idea. I'm just going to throw it out there. And it's just going to be profoundly bad. It might not sound bad, but it's going to work out really badly.
And yeah.
So I can't wait to see what 3 and 4 is here because that might give us some information.
I know. Okay. And good job here trying to keep me focused because now in my mind I'm like, where is this going? Okay, so the third thing to happen on this day is that Mercury, which that throat chakra is going to be in Leo. So it's like they're in the Cat fire space too, and it's squaring off with Uranus and Taurus. Winona Ryder over there doing like Ferdinand, whatever the hell she wants kind of stuff. What is that going to pan out to be? Because that's kind of a stubborn streak.
This is giving us more insight because so now that the Mercury is just the communications, that's getting right in line with the other things. This is going to be now talking and very ego-driven, attention-drawing, verbal communication. And square is opposition, and Uranus is kind of the rebel, and Taurus is that stable indulgence. So I always use this combo as this is rebellion by not doing something you were supposed to do. So I see this now as somebody complaining that somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do, and then proposing some idea to do something about it, and that idea is really bad.
Consequences falling through.
Like I'll just throw one out that I heard this morning is, all these people in Washington signed this, all these staffers signed this petition saying Biden's not doing enough. See, I don't think it's going to be this because Leo's specific would be a person. This is anonymous, but you're not doing enough about climate change. So then we're going to go ahead and he's going to respond to that by proposing something really quick. That's like really horrible. That's just, again, a real quick example. Or, The other guy was having a bunch of grievances again today about the election, and so it could be, again, if Mike Pence did what he
Mm-hmm.
was supposed to do,
Hmm.
this is what we need to
Hmm.
do about it, and then it'll be something, whatever that is. The idea might not sound bad, but it's going to work out really badly.
And as I'm painting this out and kind of feeling it through, my intuition is seeing David Bowie. David Bowie is coming through, but he's coming through as the actor, not the singer.
Okay.
Like him and his spaces where he was on camera pretending, which is kind of interesting because he's still very much like the sex symbol, but like, who is he really? But like a lot of wild makeup and like the show. But he had some really interesting last words. He had some really interesting superstitions and things about him.
Mhm.
The final thing that happens, and it's kind of one of those, I look at it and I'm like, well, is that really count? Is that really a fourth movement? But it talks about how in the morning you have like this new moon, like this, the void of that space. And then that by the end of the evening, you have the moon beginning to wax in its first spaces in Leo. So it like the moon is making more movements into that Leo space and there's growth there. And so I kind of feel like this is just salt on the wound. I feel like I have a tick on my leg if you're wondering why I'm freaking out slightly right here on camera. But moon and Leo as the sun goes down. What do you think for that?
I just think this is just adding, like you said, extra energy to Thursday is going to be a very egocentric day, attention seeking day, people proposing things, people projecting onto others things they should be doing, but it's all about me. It's all going to be about the individual and complaining tomorrow and trying to draw
Complaining
attention, and it's
and complaining. Okay. Hopefully not. Moving on, Karens. Hopefully not. But and this is just a Thursday, so that's a pretty thick Thursday. It's pretty thick Thursday. Only one thing happens on Friday. Okay, we can do that. But what is it? I can't wait to see Matt's face. For those of you who don't get to join us on camera, um, what happens on Friday? You wake up. Man, I can't do
I
that
hit the wrong
because
button. There you
sorry.
go.
There I go. Trying to multitask. The moon in Leo conjuncts Mercury in Leo. It's a double down of exactly what happened the
Yeah, this is
afternoon
just,
previous.
this is just more of Thursday extended into Friday. So now this is just emotions combining with so people are going to basically speak what they're feeling, and it's again all going to be in this wanting attention, kind of ego feeding, prideful piece of this. That could be the other thing too. Is something could happen this week leading into Thursday that bruised somebody's pride, since this isn't Leon. So this could just be like a 48-hour little tantrum rant of somebody just not letting something go because their pride got bruised. And again, this could be micro, not macro. So you could see this in your own life with somebody, at work, at home. But that's kind of how I'm seeing this is there's going to be something tied into somebody's pride, and then they're just going to make a whole bunch of, oh, that was a really cool Anya Strickland. Yeah, so.
Well, and I think, man, and I think about some of the changes that we're just seeing, like in the world space. And for those of you joining us in the chat, let us know your thoughts. Katie said, "Man, this is going to be kind of like a Trump week."
It's kind of what I'm thinking too, but
Well, and you're having that same storm we are. There's lots of storms in Minnesota. There's been a lot of storms lately, so bear with us here, guys, as we remain safe and keep our eyes peeled. Um, I don't want that radio silence, but as I process that, Leo, 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 Mercury and Leo, and you know what? It's almost as if it is the breakup. You know the movie The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn? In this movie, there's like this, she's gonna actually try to there's these returns to try and make the relationship work. Like she shaves her body and goes and does these attempts and to woo him halfway through the breaking up process to just be like, you know what? I need to just backtrack. I need to just focus again. And it falls even deeper into crap. The end of the movie, she's like, I've got these 2 tickets. He's like, oh, you want to go with me? And she's like, yeah. And then like, this is the final straw for them to go to like a concert together. And he doesn't show up. She goes by herself. It's so sad. That's what this is going to be. It's like you're sitting empty in a crowded room. How does that feel? And then someone's going to be like, look at the lonely woman alone at the Fine Line Avenue. What it's like to be alone in COVID. And then like you're the headline news on the Monday morning when you sit down for your croissant. And you're like, really? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exactly what just happened, but now it's in your face again. Really? So, okay. Get over it. Friday, putting salt in the wound. Okay, moving on. Saturday, July 30th. It's the weekend. Everybody's looking for the weekend. It's the weekend. You can return to calmness, maybe. I don't know what's happening. Only one thing is happening. Thank the gods. Oh, look, it's my day to shine. It is. Saturday is going to be a day that I will, according to
Sarah's Power Days.
astrology, power day. Why? What makes a power day? When you look at your birth chart, which one do you think? The moon? It's when your moon is in the moon's moon. What was the moon the day you were born? The moon was dancing in the constellation of Virgo. And guess what? She gonna be dancing in Virgo this Saturday. What does it mean, Matt?
So you're going to go more from, this is going to be good because we're getting some of these energies getting out of this whole egocentric piece. So Virgo's more analytical. Virgo's picky, I's dotted, T's crossed, detail, detail, detail. So this might be after all this blow up, all these things that were going on the last couple of days. Now emotionally, I might be a little bit okay. Now I did all this stuff. Now I need to figure out like specifics. You know, what do I want done? What did that other person do wrong? It's going to be filling in all the details now. Earlier than that, it didn't matter. It was just getting spotlight on me, and I'm throwing out all my stuff. And now this will be moving more towards. Okay, now I got to start figuring things out and get like the details and the specifics so that I can move on.
Yeah. This is the what's really going where. Where is this going to end up? What does that mean for my job or for my benefits, or like what do these major life changes that people are making in their own lives, but then also America, the world, spaces, regions, governments, thinking, okay, it's going to be kind of a crazy week. This new moon, where usually new is kind of a, it's going to be kind of a crazy new moon, and all of that fire. I think of Team America World Police. If you've not seen that. America! Like, what did they do in that opening scene? They just destroyed all of Paris. And you know what? Pick up the pieces. Saturday, use them. Make a mosaic. Do something. Sing a song. Make it into a Mary Poppins show. Do something. That's what Virgo does. That's what Virgo does, baby. They use it. And they do. And they're good at it. So I want all of you to just channel a little bit of my Virgo powers. I'll give them to you. I'll give you a little bit of my sunshine if you need it. And try and get it done. Get her done. Because then you've got Sunday. Okay. Okay, so Sunday, trying not to go too quickly because we're moving right through this. And I know that we're in a storm. So can you still hear me, or am I just?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, because I kind of pulled over there. Sunday, July 31st. That's going to be my sister's birthday. I was just kind of looking at it. The end of July. Are we already at the end of July? What is going on? That's
Summer's
really
flying
stuck
by,
us, isn't it?
sadly.
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Okay, well, say no more then. What happens? Post them right here. The first thing is the sun is in Leo. Oh, no. And that is trine Jupiter in Aries.
Which is retrograde.
Boop, boop, boop. Right, which is
So
retrograde.
this is that, ego wanting attention and wanting the spotlight, getting good synergy with opportunity, and it's going to be impulsive opportunity. So this is going to be something that's just going to pop up and go, yeah, I'm going to do that. But since it's retrograde again, these opportunities are going to go off the rails and not work out well. So this is another recipe for kind of disaster. The troll part of me, it's kind of entertaining to see some of the things that'll happen, but yeah, this is not don't do impulsive ideas that come your way on Sunday are not going to be good. Don't do them.
Avoid impulse. Really think. Use that feeling, that inner moon in Virgo, that moment, let it permeate, because the sun, it looks good, it's shiny, it's got click-clacky boots, you know what I mean? And that's in Leo. That's really wanting to show off. It's really wanting to pull you in. And Jupiter behind you, you can't really see it, but it has a big pull too. In Aries. Come on, guys. This is that rise above, lift up, overcome, sidestep. This is navigation. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Move. Move your body. Move your body. Okay, and then one more thing happens on Sunday. Da, 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 da. And that is that Mercury in Leo, still there, still screaming out fire and roaring like a lion, but that is opposite Saturn in Aquarius.
Okay, so Saturn's rules, Aquarius is the rebel, so I view this as changing the rules. So energy to change rules has tension with this communication related to the ego. So this whole what I want and the things I want, some type of rules getting in the way of this. Therefore, we need to make some changes. Things need to change. So I think this is, again, going to be tied back to late last week, or the Thursday energy, with somebody complaining that people didn't do what they were supposed to do and I was wronged, and so things need to change. This needs to change. So it's all going to, whatever was blowing up on Thursday, look for it to pop back up again on Sunday.
What day?
Like the person
Thursday?
coming back, it's like you think the whole fight's over, and then like half an hour later, the person comes back into the room, and then that's what's going to be Sunday.
And another thing. And don't forget, you've got to change the locks. And don't forget, you've got to turn in the nuclear codes. Don't forget, you've got to do that. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, we get to see a little bit of how it pans out for Monday and Tuesday. So before I move into the first day of August, what did you guys get in the chat room? Matt, what do you feel looking at this last week of July? What predictions do you maybe have for this crazy space of ours?
I'm probably biased, but all these signs scream to me going back to the political stuff that's going on. Like I think some of this election things, I just see a whole bunch of stuff getting rehashed. Maybe folks wanting to make names for themselves, for throwing their hat in the ring for 2024 or something. I see this coming out of the news cycle again later this week. That, yeah. If it would be Twitter, I would say he'd be, if he was on Twitter, I would say it would be like a tweet storm or something. But yeah, there's going to be some kind of, I think Trump. I know he's a Gemini, but I just always, Leo, I always just think of, and so all this Leo energy combined with that Uranus, somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do. I'm just, I'm thinking politics, U.S. politics.
Okay.
And it could be the flip side too. It could be a whole lot of, the economy is stinking so bad that the other side's not doing what they should be doing. So it could be a little of that too. But it's still going to be darts being thrown.
Darts being thrown. Look at these words you're using. Why do you say that? What is going to be derailed, and what darts are being thrown?
Well, I think they're going to be. So I'll just go like my gut feel here. It's going to be I don't know if there's any speech or rally scheduled for Thursday. I know there was stuff today, so I see a big, speech on Thursday and complaining about stuff, and then taking shots and these are things that should be done. And there'll be some proposal that comes out of that, and that proposal is just going to be really bad. Or I don't know. Katie mentions Russia. I don't know when the first boats are starting to get escorted out of the Black Sea, but that could go sideways too.
Ooh.
They're supposed to. The Ukrainian freighters are supposed to get started to get escorted out of the Black Sea soon, and that could go sideways.
Oh, man. Okay. And see, I was thinking of, like in my mind, I was thinking of the like in that money space, there's like this rail. There's a word that was used for like this international railway that was going to be utilized for resources between different places across Russia, Ukraine, different areas for like exchange of oil and things of that nature. And I feel like this almost has me wondering, when you keep saying derail, is there going to be something with that, with resources coming through in a way that, we need them to pan out? And I also think of kind of what those words mean, because you're using and you're repeating them, and it's also like a mode of transportation with the Titanic reference, but also like a lot of water reference, and we still are kind of coming out of Cancer season, so that water, like the flooding, like the storms, it's still happening. The leak is still here, so the water is still in the basement, and this is that fire, chaos, change. All right, we got to do this. Like this is that significant movement.
Yeah, so I hate to say this, but with all those words, you pointed it out, with all those words and stuff, yeah, I'm thinking then look for something train related. Train accident, train derailment, missile hitting a train, something along those lines.
I was thinking too, and I was thinking, man, last time there was like Amtrak stuff, and I remember being like, Amtrak? Oh, okay, interesting. Anyway, okay. Yeah, and I want you guys all, feel free if you feel brave enough to put that validation out there. Maybe something with the New York subway, said Steph. NLP, neurolinguistic programming. Make it rain our way, please. Okay, we'll take it, because we got a lot. But I do kind of like rainstorms. And yeah, take this moment to kind of let that marinate, write down what you guys think. That is for July. And then we are going to welcome in a new month, August. Virgo. Yeah, it's coming. It's right around the corner. I know. We just got into Leo season, Sarah. Stop looking forward to Virgo rising, but I will. That's how I do it. That's how I get through it.
We know
But
your favorite. We know your favorite.
I know. I just got to jump from the least to that one. But Monday on the 1st, only one thing is happening, and I can get on board with it. I'm not hating on it. So the very first thing that's going to greet us for August 1st, Monday morning, Mars will be in Taurus, and that's conjunct Uranus in Taurus as well.
This is
So
a
they're going to be.
weird one
Why do you say that?
because you got so Taurus is stable and indulgent and doesn't want to really move and doesn't want to change a whole lot, and Mars is action. So that's kind of a weird combo. And then Uranus being the rebel, I always say it's rebelling by not doing something, but Mars is doing something. So
I know what this is.
So it's kind of like rebelling or change, or I shouldn't say rebelling, changing something. But I'm going to say it's going to change something that's going to increase your comfort. So it's Will Smith moving that, and Men in Black moving that table across the thing so he can write better while everybody else is there trying to all scrumpled up. It's, I'm gonna break some unwritten rule here, but it's gonna make me more comfy.
Okay. Man, that was really wild. As you said that, Will Smith, you guys talk about crazy moments, right? My spirit guides talk to me. I had a voice that said, Will Smith. I mean, yeah, you could do Men in Black, but I was thinking more like The Matrix, the bending of the spoon. And it was like, oh, maybe like the breaking a rule as you know it to exist, taking the table that you need to do the thing that you need, breaking open the brain to see the little baby alien inside. That it's not going to be what you expect. It's not going to maybe be How is that going to pan out? What is that? There's something kind of unique there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is, but I'm excited for. I don't feel like it's going to be a bad thing for those people. I was like, what does that mean?
Well, I'm thinking though, with all the Leo energy, this could be a very self-centered thing. When we're saying for comfort, this could be a very, I'm going to change things that might make things worse for 10 other people, but it's going to make me comfortable. That's kind of the
Right.
vibe I'm getting. This is going to be a little bit of a self-centered piece
I'm
to it.
interested to
There's
see how
no
this.
there's no Pisces in this. There's no take one for the team energy here. This is
No.
personal comfort.
Right. 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 And that is, it's pretty powerful. And that Leo energy is just that, me, 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 me. But forward, like a gravitational, like I've got to take care of myself. It's all about me. And it's, Robin Williams wasn't necessarily trying to do Mrs. Doubtfire to be all about him, but that's kind of from other people's perspectives. They felt that way. Like this is still about you being in the family, you getting what you want, you not. And it's like, "Ugh, but yeah, but also like making ridiculous and terrible, crazy extra Leo efforts, the Ferrari driving on the road to like try and understand more about what you want, which is important. I think America will be doing that. The world will be doing that. You will be doing that. We will, like, everyone will be doing that. So then you have August 2nd. Man, three things happen on August 2nd. So I'll try and keep it focused. The very first thing that happens, Venus. You know what that means, right? Venus um, in Cancer sextile that Uranus that we just
Hmm.
had and Taurus. So there's going to be kind of a shake in the sensual realm. What do you see for that?
So sextile is kind of removing obstacles. So Venus and Cancer. So romantic, emotional. Cancer is about security and very depth and emotional. So this is a very emotional need for, I'd say, security and reassurance, and that's removing obstacles to this whole stable and indulgent, but kind of rebelling. So I'd say there's a move for emotional stability here, a move for emotional security, but it may be expressed, or that people may be reaching out in unconventional areas. So they might be going for emotional support and security from somebody that they normally wouldn't, kind of unconventional. That's where the Uranus piece comes in.
Ah, okay. The unconventional comes in there. In my mind, the unconventional was that you find yourself trying to cope through this trauma or chaos or crazy stress with, some romantic theme and find yourself either pregnant or in love or getting beat up by the spouse or like that Uranus and Taurus is something that's not moving, like that's not going to change, and that this is just some wild card that you cannot possibly expect that comes out of this sensual experience. So I like seeing your perspective better, I think. And it allows for a different view there, which I can appreciate.
But
Okay, the second.
think things through, because people might be reaching out, like on both ends. You might be getting reached out to from
Really?
people, or you might be have an impulse to reach out to someone that it might not be the best person to reach out to for support. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and just ask like, why? Why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I want to be the crazy person in their life or the peace? Am I calling my mom because I'm just trying to vent and that's all about me feeling better? Like, I really need to think about what I'm doing before I do it. Just a second, just to make sure. And you can always be like, yep, I'm being a selfish bitch and then keep moving. But you just want to keep this in mind. Now, the second string being strung on Tuesday, August 2nd, is the Venus in Cancer. Yep, yep. It's going to be sextile Mars in Taurus. I'll fix that now. Mars in Taurus.
This is real simple. This
Oh,
is the same as what I said earlier. It's just that people will act on it then too. So this is bad. This makes what I said earlier worse, because people will reach out for emotional support to an unconventional person, and then there's going to be unconventional actions that follow from that. So when you have that romantic space, Venus and Mars combined in this with Uranus, and yeah, it's yeah, this is, you reach out to somebody for, you're having a rough day, and you reach out to have a sympathetic ear, and you end up in bed with the person. That's the kind of energy that's this combo is. So be really, really careful.
be careful. And, in my work Monday through Friday, gosh, guys, we talk about the touch continuum. We talk about what's okay as far as, boundaries and consent and all of those fun things. But when I hear you say that specifically, I think about when, and some of the differences between male and female, by the way, that the experience of makeup sex, that men will often say makeup sex is the best sex. It's angry and you're able to let all that energy out. Women will often report that it's the least favorite, which is kind of an interesting thought. Um, I see this being a theme that we're going to see on Tuesday. Be very careful that both people, both parties involved in anything, it doesn't have to be sexual, sensual. It could be you guys are chefs. It could be you and your partner at work. It could be your new dog. It could be whatever. Something that is going to, be filtered through your senses, that's going to be misread, that's going to be a possible unhealthy attachment. So then put the cherry on the top of that day. One last thing happens on Tuesday afternoon. That is the moon, which will be waxing. The moon is going to be waxing in Libra. What do you say for that?
So now we're going from details. So again, it's always like a pendulum going back and forth. So now we're going from details to Libra is all about balance, fairness, wants things nice, not conflict. So now you're going from that whole kind of bombastic Leo stuff earlier in the week to now, can't we all just get along and look how nice I am? And so this is going to go totally into like this diplomatic mode. And so this is kind of, I think, emotionally where maybe if there was any feathers ruffled or any bridges burned, this is going to be, oh, we're going to patch this up. And oh, it wasn't all that bad. No, I'm sorry. I was just having a rough day. So this is going to be kind of smoothing over the chaos from the end of the week.
Ew. Smoothing over the chaos for the end of the week. You know what? Just to be fair, since you slashed the tires on my truck, I burned all your clothes. Tit for tat. What is that? Mother hen in the Chicago. She's the kind of the gatekeeper, the measurer. And gatekeeper magic might be relevant this day. And of course, I am looking ahead to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I can, and you can too, as all of our farmers and ancestors have done before us, look up to the sky. And I can see what is going to be going down in August. I can look and go, oh, okay, that's how it starts. Interesting. Okay. All righty. Interesting, interesting, interesting. And knowing that, which by the way, I also noticed that if you get like the downloadable calendar off Astro Calendar, which oftentimes I'll send out to people, it's actually wrong. Every few years they get a whole thing that's wrong. Like it's when I say wrong, like the days are off. Their template is off. They'll notice it. Somebody will say it like it's only the 26th, so we're a little ahead. It'll change in a few days. So if you're like a first edition person, it's just kind of one of those moments to notice. It's kind of a fun thing I like to pay attention to and go, oh, snap. It actually is different than it should be, which is kind of fun. So anyway, just keep that in mind. If you're someone who follows the Astro that we share on occasion online, you might want to look at something different. But you're going to have a lot of energy squaring off, and you're going to have a lot of show-offs this week, guys. What are your predictions for August without looking too far ahead? What do you think is going to happen for the first week in August?
Well, I don't know about the first week, but since it hasn't happened yet, I still think there's going to be my prediction was that there'll be a health thing with Trump still in July or August. So I still think that's going to happen.
I'm going to just say
that he's going to go into the background and DeSantis will become the front runner for the Republicans.
DeSantis comes the front runner for the Republicans. Agree. There's going to be term limits put. I think that will pass. That's going to really shift and scare things for sure. I think we're also going to see Nancy Pelosi, speaker, presenter, spearhead of that's what people see, even though we didn't used to have press really, that didn't used to be a thing. That was because Trump ruined it for everybody and nobody could get through a fucking day without letting him get through a thing because of him. So anyway, they allowed these pretty women to come up and be press secretaries and like become a new position of media. I don't know how that works. Anyway, that's a whole nother show. This is going, these positions, Speaker of the House and that PR, something in that position is going to shift or change just because of the Leo season, because of this like Peacock show that I'm seeing. And then the gatekeeping of, oh yeah, well, if there's war over there's war over here. Well, if you can't have oil, we can't have oil. Like there's going to be this tug of war. Oh, look what I can do. Look what I can do. That resisting moment that we talked about where I'm going to do nothing, but that's that pull that it's this weird kind of tantrum that I see happening around people. So for those in the chat room saying, is this going to be a shit show? It will be a show. It might be funny, comedic, crazy a little bit. Really take command, stay focused, be grounded, and please share your guys' stuff with us online. Join us online. Matter of fact, I'm going to put in the chat room right now where to find us. You can even reading. We are still doing those. Matt, where can they find us?
Well, paranormalsarah.com. I'm drawing a blank here. The Paranormal Channel on YouTube, Astrology and Alchemy on Facebook, Automotive Astrology on Facebook. You can email me at mslizer.com or mslizer@yahoo.com.
Absolutely. And all you social media peoples out there, please sign up for notifications. Absolutely. And don't forget, you guys, you can download us for free anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast on Odyssey Radio. And I do hope that you will. I hope that you will share us with your friends. I hope you'll join us next week here on Astrology and Alchemy as we try and go live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time and then air it throughout the week for you guys to have that astrological guidance that you need. You know what I mean?
And I'll add real quick, since you mentioned Pelosi, there's all this talk about should she go to Taiwan, shouldn't she? So whichever one she decides, maybe that'll come out since you mentioned her. And then whichever one she decides, that'll be the Jupiter retrograde. It'll be the wrong decision.
Yeah.
So if she goes, it'll be a shit show. If she doesn't go, it'll be a shit show. So whichever choice is made is that.
All right, guys, let's do this hokey pokey. Be sure and share your pictures, man. Tag us along, and we'll see you next Tuesday for Astrology and Alchemy.
Have a good night, everybody.